Hi everybody, my name is Vanessa Lech, and today's video is going to be about veterans, U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs surveys, like the one I got right here today in the mail. I have a popular YouTube channel you can subscribe to, you can check out. There's actually more information thanks to the character limit is larger on my YouTube channel than in LinkedIn right now where I'm streaming from. So you can actually see more of the stuff I'm talking about today there than on LinkedIn platform. I think LinkedIn's great. I stream there. I'm streaming there right now. But there's a character limit. I think it's 1,300 characters, which is not nearly enough for the descriptions I put of information in my videos that are live streaming or whatever. Anyways, and then also the YouTube character limit's 5,000 characters. So that's a lot more characters for me to be able to place information for you to check out. So I also have a podcast that's growing because I'm posting more to it these days. It took like a couple months off, honestly. Anyways, and that can be found, all of this information can be found hellovanessamedia.com/info. You can sign up for a newsletter. I plan to send one out eventually once I get enough people signed up for it, maybe do it quarterly with updates, because there's plenty of updates, that's for sure. But anyways, you can find the podcast all around anywhere that you like podcasts. It's Hello Vanessa Media. You can follow it everywhere that you like to listen to podcasts, and that can be more convenient possibly than watching a video. I don't know, it depends on you. But like I said, there's YouTube channel and I'm also on LinkedIn, and I try to stream from both places. But YouTube is just a video sharing platform. So the videos typically are going to be more there and more visible than on LinkedIn because just the way the platforms are set up. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get to what I'm covering today. I have playlists on U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs if you're interested. It's a whole saga. This is a part of it. So I'm not even going to try to give you any back information. If you've been watching, you will know. If you've been listening, you will know. All right, so for those of you watching, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So this is the letter I received today from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. It's a survey. I just did a video live stream very recently about the other survey I got. It was an email, and it was asking some questions. I went into detail about that. It was only about like 5 questions, I think, tops. And this one was a lot more in depth. I whited out the information on there because I'm concerned about my privacy too, just as I'm sure you are or not. Anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and just read over what this letter says. But before I get started, I'll say that I've never seen or heard of the VA giving out surveys ever up until like in paper 2021. And I don't know if I recall one. I think in 2020, I actually recall some phone survey, or maybe they sent me one through email. But I wonder if prior to 2016, if there were any surveys being sent out, because for many, many years, I avoided the VA altogether for good reason. So anyways, just through life circumstance, I happened to have come back to the VA for my own healthcare. So, all right, here goes. Dear veteran, the Veterans Health Administration wants to give you the best care possible, and we need your help. The VHA has partnered with Ipsos, a well-known survey firm, to conduct an important survey. We recently sent you an email with instructions on how to take the survey online. However, you may also receive a survey in the mail within 2 weeks about care that you received recently at the VA. One of the things I don't understand about this is why did they need to mail me this letter that I've got posted over here, as well as an additional like package of survey information? Like that to me seems like a huge waste. And just today I got another piece of mail from the VA, which was it was sent in an error. It looks like it wasn't supposed to be sent. And it's like, this is another example of like wasted money. Like, why are you wasting your money on paper and ink that this veteran doesn't want sent? You know what I mean? Like it's, a lot of organizations, VA really frustrates me because of the lack of efficiency and a lack of common sense. All right. And so a lot of organizations will ask you, do you want to opt in for electronic communication, like text messages and email, or do you want everything sent to you in paper, or do you want both? Well, I'm definitely someone that would like, for the love of Jesus, please just send it to me through email and text messages. Okay. All right. And I'll give you a fax number too to fax it if you want. But look, I have no interest in this whole snail mail situation whatsoever. And I hate when people will say at the VA, well, some of the people, oh, well, we mailed it to you on this date. And it'll be like some useless letter that said nothing to me, but they feel like they checked their little box off by doing that. That's super annoying to me. All right, moving on. The answers that you give will help us improve care at the VA. The checkbox responses you provide to the survey questions will not be connected with you personally, but combined with the opinions of other veterans before being reported. However, any additional information which you provide, including comments written in the margins, letters, and other enclosures, will be shared with my office unless you indicate that you want your comments to remain confidential and not be shared. So this must be the snail mail version that they're referring to with writing comments in the margins of the survey, because I'm going to get to it here in a second, but there's an electronic version of this, which of course I opted for. And there was no option that I recall, because I took it today, mostly out of curiosity, because I don't really have much faith in the VA to really do much of anything to improve themselves. But I took the survey, the electronic survey, and I don't recall there being anywhere for me to type any comments or to say anything, because if there had been, I would have done it. If you couldn't tell, I'm pretty opinionated. And, I've never missed an option to vote in an election, like even the lowest level election ever in my entire adult life. Like I've literally voted in I will vote on the fire hydrant in the area that I live in. That's not a joke. If you give me an opportunity to vote on something, I'm going to vote on it. So, if they would give me an opportunity to write some comments in there, I would have written those comments in there. That's for sure. Because I for sure have some comments to give, but I didn't have the opportunity to do that. So maybe if they send me this paper one, I'm probably going to fill that one out too and send it back to them. All right, but they need to fix that. They need to make the electronic one equal and equivalent to the physical version that they're sending in the mail, and that's not happening so far. All right, if you would like to see the results of the survey for veterans who get care at this facility, you may contact the patient advocate at this facility. This is another problem. Okay, so at the Alexandria, Louisiana Veterans Affairs Medical Center, which is what this survey is specifically addressing right here, okay? Because I'm visiting Louisiana right now. The patient advocate office is not very responsive. This is something I brought up in another video. And if you're wondering why I'm bringing this up in videos, several reasons. I'm sick of dealing with the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. They've been the bane of my existence and my nemesis since I exited the military many years ago. We're going on 10 years now, okay? It's been one thing after another. I work for the organization, and yes, I'm a veteran, and currently receiving healthcare from the organization. And one thing I've learned about the VA is that they're not really into, specifically their bad management, constructive criticism or feedback of any kind whatsoever. Not from their employees and sure as heck not from the veterans. And so they're not interested in really hearing you. They're just interested in burying whatever it is you say and getting rid of you promptly. This I know for sure. Okay. So I feel that I'm better served, as well as all the other people of the world that have a stake in this, to really just publicly air what I have to say, because I believe that's probably going to get more effective changes than ever trying to communicate with the people at the VA. And I know this because I'm coming up on almost 10 years of trying to work things out with the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. And if you couldn't tell, it hasn't been working out so great for me, okay? And I'm one of the luckier veterans and former employees. All right, so the patient advocate that I'm supposed to go through, I'm not going to contact them, although I would love to see the survey for veterans who get care at the facility, the accumulated results of that. I'd love to see that. And they should not make it to where you have to jump through extra hoops to see that information. What they should be doing is make it to where it's public so that you can see the numerical data accumulated about veteran care at that facility, so that veterans like myself, other stakeholders, and hell, why not the public, go check it out and see, or at least make it to where it's more accessible. For example, right here, and you can see right there on the screen there's a portion here where it has a website and then a passcode. Why not give a website and a passcode so you can see the results, for the information of how people are rating the facility? But they're not doing that because they don't want to make it easy. Let's be honest. All right. So then it goes on to say in this little gray box, which is right there, it goes on to say, for your convenience, you can also complete the survey online by using the link below. Of course, I did that. Note, online surveys are active for a month, but you can still send in the paper version. Please enter the following URL in the address bar of the internet browser, and then it gives you the link, hyperlink. Your confidential identification number is, your personal password is. Of course, I whited out all that information on the paper, which I'm screen sharing. I shared this really for transparency, just so other people can see what this survey looks like and what's going on. because I think it's really needed the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, to be completely frank with you. All right, VA values your frank and honest feedback, and God knows I'm happy to give it, to help us improve your care. Participation is voluntary, and your answers to the survey will not affect the health care you receive or your eligibility for VA benefits. Well, it better not. VA staff will not use comments made through this survey against you. Well, my area didn't have any room for commentary, so it's not like it mattered. And to be completely frank with you, like, I'm not holding back anything. So everybody and their mother, as you may have already figured out, gets to know my full opinion. I'm not trying to mask anything over here. All right, if you have specific concerns about the care provided, please contact the patient advocate, who in my experience has not been helpful. If that does not resolve your issue, please contact the director's office and we will do our best to help with your concerns. And all I can say is those people at the director's office must be extremely busy. Let's see. If you have questions about your healthcare benefits or claims, please call the appropriate number below. Gives you, the numbers. Look forward to hearing from you and thank you in advance for your time. And then it's got the name of the director on there, which, if I were the director, I would really want my name on there, honestly, because it's just like, you were just such a... There's a lot of angry people out there when it comes to U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. This I know for sure. So I wouldn't want my name on that paper. Anyways, but yeah, so I filled it out and I actually really like the sudden surveys that I'm seeing. I briefly received my healthcare years and years and years and years and years ago from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. I mean, brief, super brief. Like I saw maybe a healthcare provider a couple of times at some point. I can't remember. It's been so many years ago. But I chose to get my routine healthcare elsewhere because I just don't trust the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Quite frankly, I still don't. And I actually have outsourced part of my healthcare elsewhere, which if you look at my VA saga, you can kind of see a little bit about that info. Anyways, I use my experiences to kind of raise attention and awareness about various issues.